Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Morning, Sandra.
Hi, good morning. Morning, Amy. And Jess, you're there on the phone? No? Who is the phone number 572? Nobody. Well, let's give Jess a couple minutes to come. She was planning on being here, I think. Everybody have their coffee? That was pretty interesting, the feedback from the panel, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very interesting. And it was interesting that I thought they really liked Travis, but at the end, their feedback was just like ours.
Yeah.
And
right.
I do think they were very, very worried that, of course, they love Vicky, and they're very worried she wouldn't sign. And I said, well, Maureen was there with us. She said that she's sure that any of the three would sign.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, what do we have to do to get her to sign? And she did very well. And actually, Heather did better, I thought, but she might have known the people in the room more too.
Yeah, she might have, yeah.
So she was more relaxed. Travis was as keyed up as ever. So
yeah.
So that didn't go so well, but yeah, I thought their feedback was very good, and they were very relieved to hear that it was a unanimous choice amongst all of us.
Good.
Yeah, they're very excited. So
yeah, their feedback just seemed to mirror ours. Not being there, but just reading it. Yeah, I was like,
yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna just try to text Jessica and see if she's coming.
Adam, I'm going to say thanks for taking on Henry.
Oh, it was awesome, Ed. Yeah, what a fantastic young fellow he is. So yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah, he was a great helper, good conversationalist. Yeah, all the way around. So yeah, and I'm going to have him in the lab sometime. So yeah, it was great.
He'd like to sell you some shoes.
Shoe Shack is a good spot.
Pharmacy director at Mercy One, please leave a message.
Well, she didn't pick up, so I guess we'll get started. 3 is a quorum, so I'll call the special meeting to order. It is July 15th at 7:06 a.m.
How many? But wait,
go ahead.
I don't mean to. How many members do you have?
We have 5.
Then you are correct, Chair. I'm so sorry.
All right, thank you. We have, let's see, first we'll do roll call. And Amy Crow-Sunleaf?
Here.
Adam Hoffman?
Here.
Sandra Larson? Here. So Jessica Smith and Hendrik Schultz are absent today.
Sandra, this is Jess. I did just join.
Oh, good, Jess. Thank you. All right, so now we have 4 members. And is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I
This is
move to
Jeff, I'll
approve the
motion.
agenda.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. So the motion by Amy, second by Adam, to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The agenda is approved. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So move.
Adam has moved. Is there a second?
I'll second, Jess.
Jessica has seconded. All those in favor of going into closed session to discuss the executive director, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Did it all pass? Did everybody say aye? Okay, good. A closed session, we are going into closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.5I for the purpose of evaluating the professional competency of an individual whose appointment, hiring, performance, or discharge is being considered when necessary to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation, and that individual requests a closed session. Okay, we are now officially in closed session, and we may begin our discussion about the executive director selection. I think there was some discussion during our closed session last time, and so maybe we'll just verify that. Is everyone feeling the same concerning their number one pick? And
This is, yeah. Oh,
go ahead.
this is Jess. This is Jess. I would agree that I feel the same about my first choice, and that was just confirmed when I reviewed the stakeholders' comments.
Okay, good. Thank you. One thing, when we get into open session again, I think that's when we have to take the vote, but I'm wondering if we should discuss what we should do in the event that Vicky, our choice, doesn't accept the position.
I think based on what the stakeholders' feedback is and my own feelings is that we would offer to Heather because she would be mentorable, whereas Travis would not be. He would be kind of a loose cannon, and I don't know how controllable he would be. And the stakeholders think he'd get bored and would leave quite soon after coming to Dubuque. So my second choice was on Wednesday and remains Heather as second choice.
Any other comments, members, about what you think we should do in case our first choice doesn't take the offer, doesn't accept the offer?
This is Jess, and I continue to kind of waffle back and forth. So I'm really hopeful that our first choice accepts. But I could, Amy, I would be supportive of your sentiments there as well.
This is Adam. I'm kind of in waffle mode as well. After the first one, there's a big gap for me. So if she turns it down, yeah, I would like to chat again, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Very good. Maybe we should talk again if she turns it down. But my first inkling would be to start over. I think we're
That's what I was thinking. Is that an option?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's not a happy option, but I think
You're right.
I just think we're paying $30,000 or more for this recruitment, and I don't think our second choice, which might be Heather, is a very strong choice, and I think we should just really start over. It would take us a long time and everything, but we would want to get back and try to recruit somebody like Vicky again. So I mean, I just that would be my thought. So maybe we should just leave it that we would meet again if this goes awry. So is that okay with everyone?
What would we do in the interim?
Yeah, it would be a problem. I think we would have to really scurry and get coverage and help from the city and from VNA. Because we really don't have anyone in the department. The choice for our assistant director, although she's been there now about a year, she has no background in public health. So, I mean, she would need some support, I think. So that's the only idea
I guess,
I had.
yeah. And I kind of honestly am in supportive of that. You know, we would be a couple of months out from our initial kind of cast for applicants. So there may be more, you know, options out in the employment pool, but I certainly would be in favor of voting to offer to Vicky, and then if she declines, reconvening. And, you know, at that point we might have Hendrik, who might have some more insight or ideas as well.
True. Yeah, he might be back. Yeah, good idea. All right, Samantha, could you jump off for a couple of minutes? We need to talk about you.
Okay, sure, sounds good.
All right. I just wanted to say, I think this next meeting in August will be the last meeting that Samantha might be at, because I think her
Yep.
resignation is before the next meeting.
Sorry, it's taking me a minute to leave. One sec,
What?
I gotta figure out how to leave.
Oh, okay. Well, plug your ears.
Here we go.
Okay, so I think this last meeting will be the last meeting that she appears at. So I was wondering if we should do something for her, like a farewell, something. I can't remember. It seems like Patrice got flowers.
Oh,
Yeah, so Diane got her a nice bouquet or an arrangement of flowers, and I think I mean, flowers are nice, but they die. Is there?
It'd be something.
agreed.
I thought that it'd be nice to get her something that she could use in her PhD program, and I don't know what that would
That's
be.
what I was thinking, something that would be related to her schooling,
Yeah.
that she could use.
Well, maybe we can, I don't know, give it some thought. If anyone has some thoughts on that, I don't know, let Amy know, because Amy's going to take care of it, right, Amy?
Adam's a board vice chair, not me. I'm just a lowly member.
I know. Oh, I just, well, let's think about it then. If nobody has,
How about even just like maybe like a bag, or, I mean, I would even honestly be in support of, you know, like they're moving. So I mean, I'm sure meals and stuff like that are going to be, you know, a transition. So even a gift card or something like that to support kind of the move and relocation efforts would be okay by me too.
yeah,
Mhm.
that sounds good.
I suppose like an Amazon gift card, then they could use it for kind of
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
You're,
And
you're not really asking me, but I'm going to chime in on this official thing. You know, they're leaving Dubuque. She's from Dubuque. So, you know, you might maybe think of a Dubuque memorabilia
that's
thing.
true.
yeah,
that's true.
that's a good idea. All right. And how
yeah.
much, I don't know if we have a budget for something like that. So this might be just donation from us. So
I think
Okay.
it was like $10. Didn't we
$10
give $10
each? Yeah.
for Patrice's, it seems like.
okay. Well,
Okay.
maybe we could do like some kind of a gift card and put it in a Dubuque cup or a Dubuque
Yeah.
bag or something. I mean,
Amy, do you want me to do that? I'm happy to get that ready.
Yeah.
that would be great.
Okay.
Yay.
I can do that.
Yay, Jazz. All right,
That's
very
not a
good.
problem.
All right.
I will
so
do that and then bring it to the July meeting or August?
it will
July.
be-
She'll be gone in August.
July, right?
July, yeah.
Okay.
So July 20th.
Okay.
So.
And
Okay.
I might, and actually most likely will be late to the, and probably sweaty, to the July meeting, because I'm doing Kids on Campus at NICC next week. So
What are you doing?
it's called Kids on Campus. It's a
Oh,
camp, a week camp, a day camp. So,
fun.
yes.
Okay.
I'm
No,
telling
I'll
Sam
bring
she
it to
can
the
come back
meeting
on.
next week.
What?
I will bring that to the meeting.
All right, good. I'm just in chat telling Sam she can come back on now.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. I think, is there anything else that we need to discuss in closed session?
I don't think so.
Okay, hearing nothing, then is there a motion to return to open session?
One question, I
This is
guess.
Jess.
Are we
Oh.
still just doing them by number for open session? Or are we gonna name names?
Ed, can you help us with that? We can use her actual name now in open session, right?
You probably can. It's only been for your own convenience. So I think you can do either, but using the candidate's name is fine, I think.
Okay. And once we communicate this to our recruiter, Ed, then I think you and the recruiter and Samantha will be working on an offer letter and HR too. They're going to work on it, I think. So,
We have been communicating, and
I-
so we are prepared to assist the board with that process.
okay.
Sandra, this is Jess. Can I just ask, so since we will be in open session, it's a public meeting. If she would decline, I'm just worried, for some reason would it get back to the fact that she applied for a different position in her current position, and could that affect her?
Good thought. What do you think, Ed?
I was unaware of those personal situations, so I think it's still fine for you at this point to indicate with some number or other alternative
Okay.
mechanism, as long as we all know what that is. So yes, I understand, and that's nice that you're thinking of the candidate in that way.
Okay.
She was
So I
number
think
one.
we
right?
identified her as one, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I had her down as 2, but you guys think she's
Oh.
number 1?
I thought she was 1 and Travis was 2 and Heather was 3.
Okay. As long as we
I
have that.
agree. Yeah.
Okay, as long as we have that clear, that's good. All right. That's good. Now, is there a motion to return to open session?
So moved.
Oh, wait a minute, just a minute. As far as the salary that's going to be offered, she asked, our range was, I think, 80 to 110, and she asked for 110. So I assume we're going to offer her 110.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned that to the stakeholders too. And I thought Maureen said it was higher than 110, but I thought 110 was the top. Maureen
Yeah, it
thought
was.
she was a couple thousand under, but like I said, the stakeholders were, and that included Anne, were like, want her.
Yeah, and
So
I know they said offer her more, but I don't think I don't know that we have that authority at
I
this
don't
point.
think we do
Yeah.
unless the supervisors as a group approved it. So
Yeah,
um
I mean, I suppose we could approve it, but then it would have to go in front of them. But I remember her documents did say that she was asking for the 110. So
mhm.
I think we would just offer her that. And okay. Motion to return to open session by
Moved by Amy.
Amy, second by
Adam will second.
Adam. All those in favor of returning to open session, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
the motion passes. We are now in open session. Is there a motion concerning the executive director selection?
This is Jess. I would motion that we offer to candidate number 1.
Thank you, Jess. Is there a second to that?
I'll second. Do we need to mention in the minutes the salary or not? Ed, do you know?
I would do that.
Okay.
Okay, so can you amend your motion, Jess, to include the salary?
Yes, I would amend my motion to include an offer to candidate number 1 with a salary of $110,000 annually.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? I'll just say that candidate number 1 is a very strong candidate, and she has a very good background, and she answered our questions really well during both the virtual and the in-person interviews. She impressed the community or stakeholder panel a great deal. They were very very impressed with her credentials. So I think she's a very strong candidate, and I'll be happy to support her.
Yes, I agree. I think the salary reflects her vast experience as well. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah, and Adam, you probably agree, I wouldn't mind paying her more. I mean, I think 110 should be the minimum for her type of experience and everything. But so that's good. Any other comments?
I would just add, she was the only candidate, especially in the second round, to really talk about the county rather than just the city. And she was really the only candidate who had thoughtful questions for the groups to answer, especially the stakeholder. I took some of those questions she had asked that we couldn't answer to the stakeholders and kind of prompted those questions. And the stakeholders were actually very impressed that she had questions for them. They were thoughtful questions, and she listened to those questions too, whereas neither of the other two had that same caliber of interview.
I agree. I guess I would also just say, as far as the working with the recruiter, GovHR, and Maureen Berry was our recruiter's name. I thought she was very helpful, and I'm really glad that we decided to go with that type of service because of our HR department and everything being in flux during this procedure. So I was pretty happy with their help. I was a little disappointed with the quality of candidates that they brought, but I think that may be just the state of public health right now. So, all right. And one other thing, I was very appreciative of all the help that the county employees gave us, and also the stakeholders. And I was wondering if we should send them a thank you note or something.
Oh, yeah, definitely to the stakeholders.
Yeah.
In fact, we could all sign those notes at our meeting
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
Okay, I'll bring them in. I have a bunch of them, so I'll bring some thank you notes. All right, well, very good. So I think there's been a motion and a second on the floor about hiring candidate number 1 at a salary of 110. And I don't think we've voted on that yet. So all those in favor, say aye.
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 Is Adam still here?
Yep, I said aye.
Okay. All right, the motion passes. We'll be making an offer to candidate number 1 ASAP. Is there any other business to conduct at this point?
I guess the only thing that did come out, I don't think, maybe we did talk about it, is candidate 1 can't start for a month. So she will likely not have the overlap with Sam that we were hoping for. But Maureen thought maybe she might be able to come, that the candidate might be able to come a few times to maybe have some interaction with the entire team that is there currently.
Right, right.
So
And that
that's-
I'm going to contact Maureen this morning, and when I contact her, I'll let her know that we'd definitely like her to do that if she's willing to. So, okay.
Excuse me, this is Maureen. I just joined the call a minute ago.
Oh, hi, Maureen.
Good morning, everybody. Hi. So I think I just heard that you would like to make the offer to Vicky.
We used numbers still, candidate 1.
Number 1. I'm sorry, candidate number 1. Is this an open meeting or is this a closed meeting?
We're an open meeting now.
Okay.
We've just we were in closed meeting, and now we're in open meeting, and we've just taken the vote to offer the job at 110 to candidate 1.
Okay. I've had some discussions with Ed Raber yesterday. Would you like me to make the offer then to candidate number 1 and conduct the negotiations kind of on behalf of the Board of Health?
I think that's how I envision it.
Okay.
Ed, are you still on? Ed?
I am right here. Maureen and I discussed this yesterday and looped in the human resource department staff, not the director, of course, but the other staff, so that I think we're on the same page. If that's what the Board of Health would like your consultant to do, that's perfectly fine. We've received the tools for doing that, the county standard letter and things like that. So I think I'm comfortable with assisting Maureen with that, let alone your interim director. She's also been a part of that discussion about how we would prepare for doing this. And I feel comfortable working with Maureen on that. I'm here to support her in any way that I can, if that's the path that you choose.
Okay. All right. So board members, I guess we'll take a motion. Is there a motion to go forward with Gov HR doing the negotiation, making the offer and negotiating the employment?
So moved.
Second? Adam?
Second.
Okay, we got a second. And any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving Gov HR Maureen Berry to go ahead and make the offer to candidate number 1 and negotiate the contract, say aye. Aye. Okay, that's
I do have
passed.
a question, Maureen. What's the process now? How many days does the candidate have to consider, or what's the process now?
Right. We don't usually typically have a limit on the days. I think, it's kind of by feel, but generally I'll get in touch with her this morning and let her know that the Board of Health would like to extend an offer to her. I want to usually like to just get a feel for whether the offer will be accepted, to confirm that, what the salary that if they still plan to stick with the amount that they indicated earlier. And that way we can prepare an offer letter. The county can prepare an offer letter that's consistent with, that understanding. I'm assuming it'll still be the same amount, but if it is not, I will come back. I'll send an email to Samantha and Ed, and I'll copy Sandra. I'll send it to you also and let you kind of loop the rest of the board in from there. In terms of just better to try to make the offer letter consistent with closer to where you think it will be in the first place. And then, once we get an indication from her of her acceptance of that, we also have some benefits information to send her. So hopefully she'll be able to kind of consider the whole compensation package up front. Usually they take a few days to review those materials before they then sign the offer letter and send it back. So I'm hoping that's how that process will go in this case as well.
Okay. All right.
I can also indicate to her that you would, despite the potential 1 month time that would be needed before she can start, that she would at least make herself a little available to talk to Sam and work with her a little bit for some overlap. I think she recognizes, we're in a bit of a time crunch here, and she seemed amenable to that. Okay,
good. All right, great.
Yeah, and I think Zoom will help with that, because it wouldn't have to be, well, Sam, I guess it wouldn't have to be face-to-face. It could be over Zoom, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And even though my last day is August 12th, I can do Zooms and call in with her as I need to too.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Okay, any other business to discuss?
So if we do get an acceptance, we can announce it at the Wednesday meeting. Is that the plan, Sandra?
Yes. So Maureen, that's it would be ideal if we could have an answer by Wednesday. So.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Okay. All right, well, very good. I don't think there's any other business. Is there a motion to adjourn? Oh, wait a minute. I got to do this little. Ed, hi.
I'm going to say one last thing to contribute to your conversation.
Yeah,
I would begin working with you potentially, Sandra, on a media release relating to your candidate if they accept. So I can triangulate with you and potentially Maureen, if that's appropriate,
okay,
on something that we would publicly release. So I would try to have that for you on Wednesday as well.
that'd be
Okay.
great.
It doesn't have to be from me. I can maybe help you flesh something out, and if you'd like to add or whatever, I'm
Okay,
here to
all
offer
right.
something. It's some material for you.
All right, that sounds great. That sounds great. Okay. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is July 20th, 2022 at 4:30. At this time, anyone may address the board on matters of which are of concern to that person and which are not agenda items. Please raise your hand if you're on Zoom, state your name and home address. Please be aware that the board is limited in their ability to respond to such inquiries, and Iowa Code prohibits the board from deliberating or acting on items not appearing on the agenda. Individual remarks are limited to 3 minutes. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I will
Oh.
motion.
Okay.
Second.
So there's a motion by Adam, a second by Amy to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Maureen.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Maureen.
Samantha.
Bye, everyone. Have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend.
Thanks.